Bamba is another anthem, which writer Richie Valens adapted from Mexican folk lyrics. It became one of the first pop hits to include all Spanish lyrics. In 1958, Eddie Cochran released his teen anthem Summertime Blues.
I'm gonna raise a fuss, I'm gonna raise a holler about a working all summer just to try to earn a dollar.
It's really well recorded for the time, featuring some early experiments in layering guitars and overdubbing. But it's really the lyrics that single this rocker out.
Well, I called my congressman and he said, quote, I'd like to help you, son, but you're too young to vote.
Man, that line alone says so much about the tension between older generations and younger generations. Don't forget, at this time, the legal voting age was still at least 21, and ironically, Eddie Cochran would die in a car accident at the age of 21.
But there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
So now that brings me to the fall of rock and roll. What happened? Well, it seems like a perfect storm of incidents happened in the late 50s. Elvis Presley was drafted into the Army in 1958. When he came back, he was never the same. Jerry Lee Lewis, thought to be Elvis' successor, was blacklisted from radio when he married his 13-year-old cousin, who was later played by Winona Ryder. Chuck Berry was arrested for a similar scandal involving a minor. He served 1.5 years in prison. Little Richard briefly gave up his rock and roll career to become a preacher. Alan Freed was fired from his show at WABC for the payola scandal, and on February 3rd, 1959, a plane crash took the lives of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. It was later referred to as the day the music died.
Time goes by, I'll still remember you, and that makes it tough.
Ray Charles' two-part single, What I Say, pointed to the future. The song features Ray's smoky Wurlitzer piano, some suggestive lyrics, and is later augmented by a horn section to close part one.
Tell me what I say now. Tell me what I say. Tell me what I say. Oh. No,
Man, talk about a progressive song. This was the single that made Ray Charles a household name. And while it's more of an R&B tune, this unmistakable groove would be a huge influence on rock songs to come.
Ray Charles is without a doubt, as they say, a genius. To me, he is even more so.
Well, that brings us to our end question. Did the 50s rock hard? Well, yeah, let's face it, the 1950s was the birth of rock and roll. The hard-driving backbeat, the unmistakable guitar lines, the raucous vocals, very thought-provoking lyrics. That's what's laid the foundation for rock music for the past 60 years. I mean, compared to more contemporary music, these songs may seem softer, more tame, or even dated. But it obviously left a mark on American society and even overseas, inspiring future British rockers. Songs like Johnny Be Good, Long Tall Sally, Jailhouse Rock, and What I Say still sound just as exciting and fresh today as they did 60 years ago.
It was loud, it was rebellious, it was the music that the young people listened to that your parents absolutely hated. And that continues today in one form or another.
I think because of the controversy and the racial tensions, they could only push the envelope so far.
I know how it feels when you sing.
Oh, for God's sake,
I know
shut
it does.
the hell up! And it's also noteworthy